What is good, everyone? Welcome. We are back with some Citizen of a Star variety. I'm gonna get in with the gamage. We were playing some PUBG Mobile earlier. That was quite interesting. We had a little blast on that. A little blast on what do you call it as well? League of Legends Wild Rift. That was tilting, to say the least. But we're now on Star Citizen. We're in the PU at the moment. Might be trying out PTU again later on. Right, here we go, ladies and gents. Let's get that launched. A warm welcome to everyone that's joined us. Don't be shy, say hi in the chat. Let's get him. So plan today is chill in PU for a little bit and then make our way over to PTU, depending on how it all goes. Ooga booga.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
What we got here? Nothing too crazy. Let's claim the old Gladiator.
Your insurance claim has been sent. Thank you.
How did I get here then? Oh, destroyed Miss Razor, yeah. That will more than likely be how I got here.
Please visit us again. Goodbye. Please visit. Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
Just wait for it to come in. 1 minute and 23 seconds. Is Mortal Kombat 1 out today as well? I believe Mortal Kombat 1 is out stream. Or coming out very soon. Yeah, it is. It's out now. Oh wow, I did not realise that. Graphics do look nice. They look really nice. Alright. I'm getting sidetracked with a little bit of Mortal Kombat in another tab, guys. Oh, man. It does look good, though. I'm watching a someone's playing as Scorpion
Please
at the
visit us
moment.
again. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm watching. We'll check out the loadout. Where's the old Gladius? So system-wise, we've got upgrades.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Weapon-wise, we're missing a ton of missile racks.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Goodbye. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Actually, do you know what I'm going to do instead? We're going to go put the Gladius back, and we're going to take out the Vanguard Sentinel, I reckon.
Your insurance claim
We'll take
has
this
been
out.
sent.
We'll have a look stream.
Thank you.
While we wait as well, I'm going to load up the latest Star Citizen stream. And we can have a look. I just realised halfway through my stream I had Wicked Echo. It's not a good way to... I always make sure I say hello to the stream before you try and promote your stream though, mate. Come on. Bit of a courtesy. You don't talk about... I have these unwritten rules and it's just common courtesy. I'll explain it to you. So... you don't go into another person's stream to talk about your own stream. That is not what you do as a streamer. So I don't know if anyone's explained this to yourself before AO96, but I'll explain it to you. Unless you're very good mates with that person and they don't mind it, then you never do that. You normally go, hey, how you doing? How you been? Had a bit of a shitty day today. Had an echo on my microphone. You know... come on. There's a little bit of courtesy, bro. Right, let's have a look at the old Star Citizen stream. We'll put this over on this screen here. And then where's the cat cam? Doodly-doo-doo-doo. We'll add in display capture, small screen again. And then... excuse me. Oof. that should be done. And then now if I drag that into there, awesome. Right, so now when we go to cams 2, that should be full screen. And what we'll do is we'll start this again and we'll put this on. Right, let's pause the music. I love how Jared's like, yeah, it's all gone. My hair's all gone. Look at him. He's clean shaved.
I was just doing it until David laughed. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Star Citizen
Hi,
Live.
everybody.
I'm your host, Jared Huckabee. And if you've never seen Star Citizen Live before, it's where we take about an hour at the end of our week and we sit down with some of our developers. Sometimes we...
But to go back to what you're saying, AO96, I do feel your pain when you get the echo or your mic's not working properly.
On our Ask the Dev specials, we actually invite members from our development teams on, and we take questions from you, the Star Citizen community, and...
I caught a little bit of this one earlier on, but not too much.
We have 2 members from our esteemed vehicle gameplay team, formerly the vehicle experience team, but now called the vehicle gameplay team because
to the ASOP vehicle
if you change the name, it just seems like you're making progress. We got Johnny and Richard. Johnny, Richard, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks.
Yeah,
it's great to be back.
Is there an actual difference between the gameplay and the experience team? It's pretty much the same folks, right? Doing the same mission.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same team. I mean, and we formed the vehicle experience team. What was it, 3 years ago?
Yeah,
yeah, and then we had, and then basically we basically had a shift to squadron, and we've got that to a certain point. We've kind of reformed on the PU side.
Okay, so they just changed the name on the team.
Yeah, it's you guys did your time in the trenches for squadron for a while.
35 seconds until ship's here.
Now you're coming back here. There's a renewed focus on the PU with the members of your team, and that's a little bit about what we're going to talk today. We put a thread up in Spectrum, which is the bespoke communication platform available on robertspaceindustries.com. If you haven't checked it out, you can do so. Where we collected questions all week. Then we let Rich and Johnny pick their own questions this week. We gave them the thread and we said, pull the ones that you actually have answers for. For instance, questions like, how's the 600i rework coming along? That's a question for the vehicle content team, the people who make the spaceships, not the vehicle gameplay team who create the gameplay around and stuff like that. So they won't be answering questions like those. Just in case you're wondering why my question didn't get picked or why other questions did, we're looking exclusively at operational gameplay stuff related to the vehicles that are currently flyable or drivable in the verse today.
Understandable.
So, without further ado, because you guys did pick quite a few questions, I'm very proud of you for doing so. We're just going to jump right in no particular order.
Selected.
Is there a gameplay reason to not have a rotational decoupled mode? Some people would really appreciate it. Possibly this person who's asking.
Probably.
Rotational decoupled.
Internally, we did some play tests with it, and it turns out it's really hard to control. It's very difficult to to work out which direction you're actually rotating, especially if you start combining rotations. Like imagine you start rolling, and then halfway through that you start pitching, and then halfway through that you start yawing. All of a sudden your rotational axis is completely different from what you think forward is, and then the far easiest way to stop rotating is just to hold space brake and just stop and start again. So we've tested this and tried a couple of approaches and stuff. For now, the plan is not to add one of these in with the normal decoupled mode. We feel coupled rotation is more controllable on average, and a more intended experience. But we could have just spitballing. It could be used as like a malfunction of HCS in future. All of your rotations get completely unlocked, and then you're just spinning, and then the thrusters start firing, and you have to manually fight against it. That could be quite cool, but yeah, no plans for that at the moment.
All right, okay.
It sounds like a skill issue to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, get good.
Yeah, I think you should get good, Johnny.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it was really difficult to fly, and it made the experience quite jarring. But that could be a case of us not, going to implement it, quite correctly. But it's definitely something we can relook at in the future. But for now, we're going to focus on the kind of core flight experience that we have.
Yeah, one aspect is we were prototyping it for sure. So there could be any number of ways to make it more readable. Extra UI widgets, extra space dust, more visual effects, something. But with our prototype, at least, we felt that it was better going down other avenues instead.
Yeah, it's not to say
Power up the ship.
that for the future. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's any constant in game development, we always like to say it's change. But at the moment,
Handshaking.
bigger fish to fry, and we're pretty happy just developing the experience that we
One
have
moment, please.
and going from there. Next question.
System ready.
Was the Moby-class button switch to tab inspired by Starfield? Hey, I said Starfield in the show.
Can we get away with that? Sure.
What are they going to do? I've been here this long. If they were going to get rid of me, it would have been for much better things. So, was the Moby-class button switch to tab inspired by Starfield?
No. That came from a push internally from our Arena Commander team. They really want the scoreboard to be on tab to match how lots of players find that in other games as well, to sort of match what the industry ends up doing. So they had a real hard push for this of like, if we do this, what would it mean? Where could we put other things that make
Okay.
sense
So
on the keyboard? And there's so many controls already that we have to move something somewhere else. So instead of tab being the ping wave, the decision that we landed on was to have tab open the scoreboard in Arena Commander, match that kind of expected behavior, and then that moved to V or hold V. I've forgotten exactly what they did, and then because there isn't a scoreboard in PU, there's now just tab that doesn't do anything. So like, what PU specific feature could we stick on tab as well? And we thought about it for a bit and like, maybe that works. That'll do.
Well, it was really simple like that, but it was quite a
I don't know why they changed that though. Request launch permission.
Not convinced by putting
Okay, Commander.
the scoreboard button.
You have clear to
the
launch.
knock-ons of moving, like people use tab for pinging all the time, so the knock-ons of that. And there's a lot of back and forth of trying to work out like what the actual best idea would be with it. So we've gone for this for now, and if it turns out,
I think overall, Star says it doesn't have a lot of keybinds.
no, it's
It's a relatively simple game.
yeah, you only need to do 3 things.
I know some people who play it on a controller or a gamepad. Hi, Anna. All right, let's move next. Sergeant Lobster 07 says it literally is live though. Jared has addressed
Thank
questions
you.
from the
And
chat
please visit
before.
again.
Lies. Have you started work on the Nautilus mine launch system?
We've done some mines specifically, just the mines right now. They are
One server speaking really close by.
in the engine at the moment, but we haven't started.
Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to do
Please,
this server
somebody
speaking. I
help.
need to
These outlaws
probably
came
grind
out of
some
nowhere and opened
reputation at the
fire.
moment.
over the few months, but we haven't got active development on that right now. No.
And of course, if you're wondering what ships are in active development, we encourage you to always check out the public roadmap. Not just the release view, but the development view that actually shows what teams are on what and stuff like that. Short of surprise ships that you've never heard of, if it's a ship that you're aware of that exists, you can see whether it's being worked on actively right there on the public roadmap. Shout out to Jake from the community team who maintains that. Let's see, what else do we got?
All right, let's get down.
The Aegis Gladius as the test subject for master modes instead of starter ships like the Aurora and Mustang.
That's a good question. I mean, it's like it's basically our reference ship internally.
No. Oh, I was so close.
It's got
I thought we were going to die.
where, it's got a broad sense of kind of skills and and purpose for that ship. So it was just a really good ship from a handling perspective, because it's got a mix of
Wait, are we 30k in?
thrusters, and the speed of it just made sense of where we wanted to kind of test combat. So that's but we did pick the Gladius, but we also picked
no.
other ships from different.
It just powered down.
But that's just been the main ship we've used.
That was really strange. That was really strange. How you doing, Macro? Welcome.
So we tested a bunch of other ones, like we've
Engage jump.
some tuning set up for a Hornet. We've had some tuning set up for 300i, and then a few bigger ships as well. We tested out the Vanguard, the Constellation. There was a few others. There was a bunch of them after a while, and trying to like fit what the niche is for each individual ship, like what the max speed can be in this specific master mode, what the thrusters can do. The Constellation has a bunch of different turrets on it and stuff. How does that affect it?
I don't know if I like master mode.
We ended up doing playtests with like, oh, what happens if we have 2 fully manned Constellations against, I don't know, 5 Gladiuses, and see what happens. And then does that match what our expectations end up being? How does a 300i fight against a Gladius? What should it be doing? Those kind of things. So right now the Gladius is the core example. It's the core example as well because it's like the main ship in Squadron. So master mode is developed for Squadron, so that's a major reason.
Engage jump.
But yeah, there's a bunch of other ships.
Making the jump to light speed.
We haven't just focused on just the Gladius.
Let's see. Then, as a follow-up to this, can you tell us what multi-crew ship will be the first one to be tested on Master You picked these questions.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
I let you come up with this list. I'm seeing these questions for the first time now. This was on you.
Yeah.
So what we can say is we have tested quite a few multi-crew ships. And what ends up being in the end, we'll decide at the time. But it's going to depend on what ship fits the kind of test and test purpose and the game mode we test as well. So we'll just make a pretty good, a good guess at the time of what ship, that is best fits that game mode basically. Because as Johnny said, we did lots of tests where, we had a couple of Constellations versus quite a few other ships. So it depends what other ship we might use as well. Because we'll put these tests out there with like a specific goal to find out information, that will help us develop the future. Because we've got to a really good place with light fighters, medium heavy fighters, but the kind of multi-crew experience is still one that we're still kind of figuring out as well. Because it's quite complex because you've got, multiple guns, you've got multiple armory, and then we've also got the resource network as well, coming in the future, and that's going to really change the multi-crew experience. So, we're really figuring out what that means for the gameplay. So, we're going to have to make some choices based on what works best for those features and our purposes with the test as well.
So, for those just joining the show, we are sitting with the vehicle gameplay team. Looking at the chat here, a couple questions like how are modular ships going, when will we have modularity in the game? Those are actually questions for the vehicle content team, the people who build the ships as opposed to the people who are here fine-tuning gameplay and aspects like that. So just in case, again, you're wondering why some questions are being addressed and others aren't. Gameplay team, content team, feature team, many teams. This is
that's fair enough.
For instance, is there going to be a way or a method to unflip vehicles that have been put upside down or on their sides like a wrench or something? Sometimes vehicles stay on their sides and won't correct no matter what force you put on them.
The answer is yes. So we'd like to use the tractor beams to move the vehicles over, but we've basically just moved the ground vehicles to a new set of physics.
Okay.
And basically this has meant the old system we had to correct them back on the wheels doesn't work anymore because it's a completely new set of physics. But we do definitely have plans to be able to use the in-game tools to rewrite the vehicles because it makes no sense to be able to stick in the middle of nowhere and have nowhere, to create a vehicle back on the wheels. So that's definitely something we're going to look into in the future. It's just quite a challenge now because we've got some new physics that is much more kind of based in reality, where as before the physics was quite simple. We had a very simple suspension system, a very kind of dampened kind of body system where the body didn't really move around that much, whereas now we've got a proper vehicle where you move it up, it's got kind of a real feel to it and it's got real weight to it, so we've got to balance the tools to be able to do that, and it's quite difficult to basically try and make a vehicle flip back over and land on its wheels as intended.
Yeah, I mean, as with all things in Star Citizen, we don't want just a automagical solution. You know, the fact that they try to correct themselves now is a necessary, evil, if you will, to try to keep people playing, to try to keep the experience positive. But whenever possible, we always want to seek these integrated solutions, these diegetic solutions that make sense within the world. I think a tractor beam is an obvious, one.
Tractor beam is the most obvious one to go for.
Like one of us, Beam Citizen, or whatever. That's literally one of.
So if you just joined us, we are watching a bit of Star Citizen live from today. And also, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we've got our live gameplay.
What is it? Somebody had it in the chat, and I wanted to shout them out because they had it. They had it right on there. I lost your name. I'm sorry, but somebody was talking about how basically, for modularity as an example, there's the feature team that would work on the feature of being able to swap out modules and whatever. Then that goes to the content team, who then build them into the ships, and then it goes to something like the gameplay team, who then can figure out the gameplay implications and how that reflects to the player. So there's this nice little pipeline there between features are the things that everybody can sort of work with. The content team build them into the ship, and then you guys come in and and make it an experience for the players. Ruka Ribi, I think that was his name. Ruka. You know how good I am with names. It's just somebody in the chat like had it. I wanted to call them out, and I lost the name. While we're on the subject of master mode, we weren't on the subject. We moved over, so that wasn't a very good transition at all. How will QED work with master modes?
So for both aspects of this, there's the player who's firing the QED or using the QED, and there's a player who's going to be on the other end of it, essentially being pulled out or dampened. So for the person who's using it, the idea is it's going to be, or the current idea anyway, will be in SCM mode, along with a bunch of other things, so that you're in SCM, you've got the QED active, and then that's when you can use it, and along with lots of the other the combat stuff is all in SCM. That's the intention at the moment. So you can still do all the same, everything else, you have the dampener, you have the snare, everything works the same way from that end. And then on the other side, the person who's being pulled out or dampened, the current working plan will be that when you get pulled out, essentially the quantum drive will be disabled or restricted somehow. Because a lot of the internals of master modes doesn't necessarily care about which mode you're actually in directly. It's if your quantum drive is active. That's what quite a lot of the things are. So for example, if you're in nav mode, but you've turned your quantum drive off for some reason, or it's been blown off or damaged or distorted or whatever else, you will still lose, you won't have access to those top speeds because the quantum drive's off. So that's what the restriction is. So if you're in nav mode and you get quantum dampened or quantum snared, your quantum drive is going to be off, and you're going to be limited to SCM speeds for that time period, and then you can swap back to SCM mode yourself and then go try and defend yourself. That's the current plan. We still need to test all these kinds of PU specific things, because there's open questions about things like in a pirate versus cargo hauler situation with QED, for example, what kind of, how often should the pirate be successful versus how often should the cargo hauler escape? Because historically we've gone back and forth in balance a lot of the time, where the cargo hauler is always able to escape, so the pirate can't really do much. Or the other way around, and the pirate's always able to catch the cargo hauler. So we want some middle ground between that, and we're still working to get the exact balance of where everything fits.
And then I have to imagine stuff like the upcoming resource management system throws that all into array too, because there's the default balancing, but then there's what the tuner does, what the mechanic does to increase those chances on either side and stuff, and how those combine. It's like this person, the attacker has upgraded their ability to QED, but the cargo person has upgraded their ability to resist, and you got rock versus rock here in the thing. So it's a unique challenge, and I'm excited to see it play out as the work of the EUPU feature team comes to completion.
It'll be quite interesting to see how they deal with that, actually.
I brought that back. Sometimes I'm good. Not that time though. Can we? Are there plans to change the way ground vehicles accelerate under analog controls?
Yes. So we spent a lot of time, kind of working on these new physics, which has enabled us to kind of fruit the body of the vehicle so it feels more fluid. And we've got a brand new time model as well, and this gives us much more fidelity to control the handling. But with that, it means you need much more fidelity in control as well. So although we've got quite a simple control method right now, where it's just key press, you go full throttle to no throttle. We definitely plan to support different control methods, so you can go half throttle, quarter throttle to control and control the slides.
That's something that Elite Dangerous does, actually.
As well, because it'll make the ground vehicles feel really good when you've got full control over them.
As a follow-up to this, it's a bit on the content side, but I'm pretty sure the answer is gameplay related, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it. What's holding up something like the Ranger from being implemented in the game?
So we've got to kind of move the physics engine. So we had quite old physics with our Royal ground vehicles, and they hadn't really been touched for a long time. So we had to go in there, figure out what needed to be changed. And we've got a baseline, as you can see now, with a new ground vehicle physics, which you're going to play soon, is it's going to feel much more realistic, but that's our first step in terms of feel. So we're going to get the feel right, but we don't have that on the Drake Mule, and we don't have that on the Nova Tank. So we've got to move the ground vehicle physics to those vehicles as well first, and then basically it's just time.
It'll be interesting to see how these new physics play out.
Got that call when we can, kind of work on a new, kind of vehicle, because it will be not a completely new vehicle because we use the time model and suspension physics and all that stuff for it, but that kind of vehicle is quite difficult to do, because it moves from kind of four wheels to balance, and that's really hard to do. But that's also Johnny's problem as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get him.
Going from
Decouple.
stable
Flight assist disengaged.
to trying to balance on two wheels is very difficult to make.
I don't know why I just fired that.
Time to make sure that you don't just constantly fall off, for example, and if you go too far the other way and you never fall off, making that also fun. So we need to find where the balance of all of that, like across the scale of sim through to arcade of a motorbike, should land. I think people still don't really know how a bicycle stays up anyway. So how are we going to succeed?
I'm sure somebody does.
Somebody?
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody in Twitch chat knows how a bicycle stays up.
Yeah. We don't want to
just
fake
leave it there, right?
That's one of the things is, we don't just want to build a car and just animate a bike. Because that's what, kind of a lot of people do to get a bike in the game is they'll just make a bike a car and it'll just be animated. But, we want to do it properly. Because we believe that experience.
Wow, he's took my wing out.
Folks in chat right now are saying gyroscopes. And I'm gonna tell you, I used to, back in...
Why is my weapons not firing? Stuff it. We're off to PTU, guys. We're off to PTU.
On a preview version of a Segway. Remember a Segway? Little two-wheeled things that kept up on a gyroscope. And there was a collection of us, and we had to, each one of us would do something for about 6-7 minutes, and then we'd swap out to somebody else all day. And every single day, we knew one of us was going to get thrown violently to the ground in front of 100 spectators. And it was a terrible, terrible lottery. And 21 years later, I still have the mental scars that just hearing the word gyro makes me derail the entire show and tell this story that absolutely not one person watching cares about. So just don't put all your faith in gyroscopes.
So when are we going to add segways?
Don't like gyroscopes.
Derailed the whole show now.
Hey, here's one. Are we going to get better lights on ships?
Yes.
Some ships have tons of light in the front, but you can't see 3 feet ahead of you, and some ground vehicles are pretty much dead at night. What the F?
So yes, we are going to get better lights, and that's something the team's currently working on. It's just a lot of work to go through all the ships in the game, basically, to do this. To make the balance more correct between them all.
Start with a Drake Vulture, please.
Some that will blind you. We've had several play tests where someone's turned the lights on and we can't see anything anymore.
Yep.
And then there's other ones where you've got the lights on.
Yeah.
So that definitely is one of the things we're kind of working on right now.
Yeah. Like driving with full beams in the fog.
Yeah.
You just can't. You might as well turn them off again.
I've got perennial Star Citizen Live watcher, vehicle art director Ben Curtis. Thanks for watching the show, Ben, in the chat going, yes, headlights are actively being improved. Lighting team are being a huge help, and we are setting standards for different manufacturers. So yeah, so different manufacturer lights. Imagine what a Drake headlight's going to be. It's just one's going to always be out. Hey,
Just on fire.
Wow.
I happen to love Drake.
Yeah, me too.
I love Drake because they're
Janky.
busted, like me. Let's see. Will ground vehicles run on fuel, hydrogen, or otherwise be battery powered or vary depending on the vehicle? If anything,
Oh, by the way, if you can hear the missiles, that's Seraphim going off like crazy.
So, yeah, so we basically moved the ground vehicles to new physics vehicles already, and that's our first step to really improving the ground vehicles up to the same specifications as ships. So, our next kind of ground vehicles V2, as we kind of call it, that would mean the ships run on fuel, they've got a power plant, they have a cooler, and it all works just like the ships. But obviously, it might be different, it might be a different power style, but, it will have power, it will require cooling in the same way that ships do. And they'll generate signals as well, in the same way that ships do. Even though it'll be different, kind of radiuses and stuff. But yeah, we're going to convert a ground vehicle to use the full kind of vehicle systems, and that we have, including resource network as well.
Yeah, we definitely want to unify all the kinds of vehicles we have in the game to all sort of work roughly in the same kind of way. So yeah, adding fuel tanks, adding power to them. Even things like updating the HUD to be new HUD, because some of the ground vehicle HUDs have been untouched for a while. There's definitely intention to do that kind of thing, for sure.
We've talked about the vehicle physics, the tire model and stuff, so as a kind of a general follow-up to
Please
that.
visit us again.
Any plans to have
Goodbye.
a more accurate
Welcome
terrain
to
physics?
the ASOP vehicle retrieval
Yes.
system.
So at the moment we have kind of our base terrain, so we kind of generalize it that it's a mix between kind of high grip gravel probably, but with this brand new model we've got the ability to kind of change the tyre curve a little bit, so we can model driving on ice, you can model driving on tarmac.
Please visit us again.
But we've got to build
Goodbye.
a system where the tyre model communicates with the game. So when you are on the textures of the different planets and stuff, it
Welcome
tells the time
to
model
the
what
ASOP
kind of
vehicle
format to
retrieval
use.
system.
So, so we've got to build that for the future, but that's definitely part of the development of the ground vehicles. It just requires like a lot of kind of cross team kind of work to do, because we've got to change the levels to kind of send that information to the ground vehicles, and then the ground vehicles will appropriately handle for those.
Right, so you're talking about basically taking all of the locations and adding markup to it,
Yeah.
so that
Your
the vehicle knows
has been
whether
delivered
it's
to the following
riding on
location.
dirt
Please.
or
Yeah,
mud or
ice
ice or
or water even, stuff like that.
water.
Yeah, you can drive a little bit of water before you start to float.
Jesus car.
Are you confirming boats here, Richard?
No?
He's not. I'm just putting him on the spot.
Boats with tires.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked a lot about boat tanks recently.
What?
Yeah, a boat tank would be a good addition to that.
Can you describe what a boat tank should be
Yeah,
like?
it's like a tank, but
But a boat?
it drives on the water.
Does it handle like a tank?
Kind of handles like a battleship. All right. Let's get into some nitty gritty ones here. Why is the center of mass on the Nova
What the hell is this?
over the ground? As in, why does it tip over so easily?
Fire up the ship?
Next to impossible to tip.
System diagnostic scan.
idea what the hell
One moment.
Aegis combat assist activated.
Okay, Gladius is screwed.
A lot of mass. And the mass is actually quite low on the tank. But
according to this person.
yeah, well, it is physically, but one of the problems
Just
that you have in like physics is, so in real life, there's a lot of dampening with kind of collisions because you're hitting terrain, you're hitting objects that move, and the collision inner kind of output
What is that?
kind of varies a lot. Whereas in like a physics simulation, you can have quite high
It's a serial number. It's like something's been placed on the ship.
objects.
Guess we're not getting in that ship.
How the ground vehicle's field interacts, because that's not how real life collisions happen, but that is the output of the physics engine. And basically that causes the vehicle to react in a way what makes it look like it doesn't weigh very much, or it gives you a really high impulse so the vehicle can roll over. And it isn't that it doesn't weigh very much or the center of mass is too high, it's just the collision impulse is so high that it's got the force to kind of tip the vehicle over. But that's definitely something we're working on. And we've already done some work on the
Welcome to the ASOP
suspension
vehicle
physics
retrieval
for the ground
system.
vehicles. When you hit rocks and stuff, if you had the old physics and you basically reduce the dampening.
Take the saber out.
But now we've kind of really worked on the ground vehicle collision physics. When you hit a rock like this, for example, it just kind of rads it. It doesn't go like this. And that's something we've worked on the first stage, and then a next stage that we'll be working on the general output of the physics engine to not generate these really high impulses that are just not accurate. But it does create a perception issue. We are aware of that.
Well, it's like when we were playing on Marine Commander last week. There was that gravity bug on was it Gila? Just like, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
you knew there
just
was
put
a
wheelies in the tank, it was
like
really
you
fun.
knew there was a gravity bug on Gila? Yeah. So why did you just tanks floating everywhere? It's a
Yeah.
good show. Sternhund in the chat says, will we
Welcome
eventually be
to the
able to
welcome
land our
to the
Pisces
ASOP
on our
vehicle retrieval
Carracks and
system.
refuel there? Please, dear God, give me something.
Welcome to the ASOP
I'm gonna
vehicle.
give
Please
you
visit us
something.
again. Goodbye.
Is that a threat? That's a good question,
Yeah.
probably for a content team, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hypothetically,
Buck
yeah.
passes here. I tried Sternhund. Right. Are there any plans for internal reloading of ballistic weapons, especially for ships like the Redeemer that possess some internal storage?
That would be nice.
That's what we talked about internally, because obviously, we moved towards a system with limited ammo, and that had a big impact on the game. And we do think it's a really positive thing, but we would, we'd definitely like it, because we've talked about it internally. We'd like a system where
Reloading ballistics would be nice.
we load the ammo.
Please
I think
visit
we're
us
really cool.
again.
Yeah, having like
Goodbye.
ammo boxes and extra items and stuff. So you've only
You'd actually have to get Cree to do it, though.
stick ammo in your first clip, essentially, and then you reload that, and then you reload it again. Oh no! Suddenly I'm out of ammo. So Jeff in the back needs to go and fit the box onto the front gun again, and you have this
Yeah,
cycle,
yeah.
multi-crew stuff going back.
That'd be cool.
Really cool. Yeah.
I would love that.
Jeff the ammo guy, pulling his weight.
That'd be amazing.
It's a really hard one.
I lost where I was.
Are you broken?
Will there be any more changes to hover vehicles to help stop them from exploding so easily? I mean,
Yes. Yeah. So we did.
do they hover because they're full of helium?
That would
We-
be one way to stop it.
Yeah.
They just
So we did
float
like a
off.
big change. When was it now? Like
Welcome
18 months ago,
to
2 years
the-
ago, I think it was.
welcome
Maybe.
to the ASOP
yeah.
vehicle
And that
has been
really
delivered. Please
increased the
visit us
speed
again.
of the hover bikes on the
Goodbye.
ground. So before they were quite limited. I think you could go like 68 meters per second, like max, I think, with the old ones. But then we made it so you could go really quick with the new ones. But obviously that means you can hit a rock, and if you're traveling at that speed, you hit a rock, it's quite an impact. But we can definitely improve that from our side. And also we can improve the levels as well. So we can instruct the players more like where to kind of ride these things. Because at the moment, our terrain, it's you've got rocks everywhere. But it'd be cool if you could have areas where you can that are intentionally made for these bikes and stuff like that. So that'd really help, along with improving the general collision detection. Again, it's just you get a really high impulse of collision, and and that just means the vehicle will explode.
Yeah. Yeah, there's already some assists in Gravlev that are trying to help with this kind of thing. I can't remember if the current one is just like it sees a thing in front of it and it slows down, or it tries to like ride over it.
Yeah, it's right over it.
Vehicle retrieval. Your insurance
But there's a
claim
bunch of
has
things that
welcome.
we
Because
tried
a Nox does
Your
that.
vehicle has been to please visit us again.
when we initially
Goodbye.
did that remake. But you know, some rocks are very big and come at you really fast. So yeah, the speeds can be like deceptive sometimes because like 200 meters a second is quite fast.
Yeah, it's really fast when you think about it, isn't it?
So if you drive a quad bike into a rock at 200 meters a second, it might explode. But yeah, it comes down to like another like perception thing of you know, you want the fantasy of flying this hover vehicle over terrain and really cool and like trying not to crash into things. And then you just nip like a tiny bit of rock, and then because you're going so fast, because
Audio's gone.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
I mean, it's something as
Your
simple
vehicle
as
has been delivered to
raising the
please visit us
durability.
again. Goodbye.
we could like quintuple the health. There we go.
I'm sorry? We lost sound for a second?
About 5 seconds.
Do we still not have sound?
We've got sound.
So can they not hear me right now?
They can hear you now.
So they can hear me right now.
Yes.
I recall a central. Can they hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Are you
I love Jared. Hey, how you doing, Michaela? We're just watching the Star Citizen live at the moment while we're chilling in PTU.
Do you have plans to address the issue?
The issue's been addressed in the next build.
Oh.
How did you address it? What happened?
So we've been doing like a general pass on kind of the health of engines in the game, which has meant some we've bumped up quite a bit because it just didn't match the overall health of the ship. So we tried to move the
How's your day been?
general health of the ship. So you should definitely see an improvement.
Okay. And when you say the next build, they should see it in the next version that goes out to the PTU.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Where's my list here? I lost my list here. I lost my sound and I lost everything. Let's see. Are trailers for ground vehicles a possibility?
Skilly papa.
And if so, that's actually, they just asked the same question 3 times. Are trailers on ground vehicles a possibility? Have you considered just, allowing us to hitch a wagon to the back of our tumbrel?
Welcome
That'd
to
be really
the
cool if you could tow
ASOP
your ship
vehicle
or something like
retrieval
that, wouldn't it?
system.
Yeah, well, just stick it on like a flatbed,
Yeah,
and then you've got this little mule pulling around a Vanguard on a flatbed.
yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
You can jackknife it.
Executing now.
You try and park a articulated lorry with a Vanguard on
That'd be really cool, actually, seeing that.
I mean, yeah, so we'd have to make the lorry. Again, it's like you can sit there. I mean, it's one of those things we talk about the
Oh, yeah, I accidentally bought too many.
content and gameplay. It's one thing for you guys to say, oh yeah, it'd be cool, but
Yeah,
That moment where you're like, oops.
that has to find their schedule and their priorities to make it.
I mean,
But, yeah.
the money is free
Um,
in the PTU.
Oh, no, yeah, I got every ship in the game at the moment in the PTU.
I want to remind you that they.
Nice. You joining us on PTU?
What is CIG's stance on the community's feedback? And is the Fury earmarked for further improvements in relation to this?
Welcome.
So a bit of a leading.
Did you pick this one, Rich?
One.
Yes,
One.
yes.
How do you?
This is my
feel
fault, so I'll answer.
One. How do you feel about community feedback? And 2, are you willing to listen to them and make the Fury better?
I feel on the spot now. I probably should have picked this one.
That's what the question says.
So, I'm really protective to our community feedback, and that's a general feeling across the teams here. Is
Yeah, you need feedback to be able to make the game better.
So to answer the Fury question, we've tried to balance the Fury for the current game that we have now, and where the ship's currently flying, where they fit, and we've tried to give it a little bit more of its personality in the current game. But we've got the game we're working on next. For us, So we've got master modes coming,
Vehicle
which
your
is going to allow
vehicle
us to
has been
kind of
delivered to the following location.
use more of the unique ship identity. And with
Please
that, and as we
visit
move towards that, we're going to move the ships more into the identity. So I can definitely see the Fury moving more to where its main thrusters contribute to more of the axes on the ship. But it was just where the rest of the game currently fits, because if you have a big game, we've got 100 and something ships in the game. If you add one in there that's really different, it can cause problems for the current ships and also kind of
Yeah.
the game. So we have to kind of move everything together. So we move the ship as much as we can.
Went into the hangar too soon.
We kind of have in the current game, and then we look at where we want to be, and then we start moving all the ships as this big, kind of package of ships that we kind of tune together. So we tune the light fighters together, the medium fighters, heavy fighters, and move those all together, and then we kind of create more personality on those ships as we go. And then we see how far we can push those limits. But yeah, I can definitely see it flying more on its mains in the future.
Let's see, some questions from the chat. If this is live, why isn't Chad McKinney on? Because he's on the other side of the world. I'm here with these guys right now. Will the 890 jump ever get paints? A question for the content team, not the gameplay team. Oh, there was another one. When will the Vanguard series get retractable turrets like Concept the last time we saw an animation? Question for the content team, not the gameplay team. Continuing on with the preset questions.
That was cool. I like the raising a ramp thing.
Was that the question?
Yeah.
Stealth. Anything?
I'm going to go stealth right now by being really quiet.
Success.
Yeah. So we kind of see, like personally, I see stealth as a ship that is, its main ability is to mask itself, so you can hide and you can be sneaky, So it's got that more kind of tactics to it, where you can use the environment to hide, and you can move your resources of the ship to kind of manage that. So you can kind of control how much you're seen in the universe. So
This is a cool ship.
Someone just plan to attack someone, and that's why I see stealth in the game. And it's going to become really it's going to be a really cool resource network, because that's going to give you really good control over how kind of stealthy you go, because you can be able to take it much further than you can now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, on the resource network thing, there's
Enter the
like how heat and cooling can
Enter the cup. Yeah, it is, doesn't it?
stealth and emissions. Because with ships, the emissions is going to be really what the
Power up the ship.
is, I guess.
Performing now.
Request launch permission.
Hide.
Stand by. Yes, Commander.
You're either not there,
All systems ready to go.
think you're not there, or people think you're something else. So you could have like emissions that pretend you're some casual cargo hauler, but you're actually a fleet of Idrises, and just to try and pretend that you're not for a while. There's stories of like stealth fighters who because of the way the stealth fighters emissions profile set up, when they get hit by a radar signature and it deflects off all the different faces of the plane, and then it comes back and the radar sees it as like, that's like a pigeon, that's nothing to worry about. And then suddenly the pigeon turns into a stealth aircraft for like 2 seconds because it's opened its bay doors, and then closes it again and go, that pigeon turned into a plane for a bit. Maybe we should shoot something at it. So something like that. You can have the two different versions of like, we hide it completely, like clamp the emissions completely so you can't be seen in a big radius, or you can just blare out like noise and obscure whatever you want. And so like with resource network, if you have if that gets tied into heat and stuff, you can have coolers that are like blaring out loads of IR, for example. They could pretend to be something else. And then if you want to go the other route and then like hide all of those emissions, turn all your coolers off, or like have some kind of thermal shielding around it, and then you just slowly cook in your ship because it's heating up. Because that heat's supposed to go somewhere. That's what the emission is normally. And if it's not emitting heat, I guess you're just gonna steam slowly.
And as Stengun asks, as a follow-up, why is that pigeon going Mach 5?
Yeah,
I was wondering, Sting. I was hoping one of you would say it so I didn't have to be the jerk.
it's a very powerful pigeon.
It's on a very good radar operator on that particular ship. That pigeon's going Mach 5. That's one very impressive pigeon.
Why has that pigeon launched a missile at us?
No. And how does the invisibility bug factor into all that?
It's very stealthy. It's not the right kind of stealth. It's like that old bug we had where all the players could turn into golf balls. But technically,
Oh, I'd forgotten about the golf ball.
yeah, that was
I'd forgotten about
that was difficult to fix.
Has that invisibility bug still going on?
I'm not sure. That's
I know it's not on our teams.
no. The last I heard, I think someone made some progress on fixing one of the many ways that it can happen. So maybe
That's what's really annoying. It was the same thing with the golf ball bug.
Yeah,
It wasn't just one cause. It was actually a myriad of causes.
Yeah.
And so, finding you find one cause and it actually obscures 3 other causes.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
That's what bug fixing on complicated situations can be sometimes. You just get, you fix one bug to make it work correctly, and then it turns out working correctly broke 8 other things.
I just know it's very frustrating. But
Yes.
the level of frustrating conversations I've seen internally about that bug over the last several weeks have been. I can't imagine it's any better for the players. But, folks are working on it. It's the best I can offer. Aerodynamics. Are aerodynamics planned to be applied to ground vehicles in the future? And if so, will this extend to drafting mechanics?
Yeah. Now it's really cool, if you could drop your ground vehicle out of a ship and it would feel like it was floating because aerodynamics and a shapeless ship, and then we've got much more racing in the game now, so it'd be cool to have a draft. You could draft up behind people, catch them, and pass them because you're in the draft. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. I don't think it's currently in the plan.
No,
at the
but-
moment, but it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Our kind of goal of moving the ground vehicles to our next version, but really, that'd be our next step. So we'd have, kind of aerodynamics in that, and maybe, we could mix that in with the, moving the ground vehicles to all the power plant systems and stuff, and have a full aerodynamics. But it'll be quite limited, because we don't want to go full simulation where we're trying to model the aerodynamics and downforce on the ship.
This is where I caught a little bit of it earlier on.
But it'd be nice to have the feature.
I was watching one of the other streamers called Space Tomato.
The aerodynamics.
Space Tomato, I think his name is.
Yeah.
The downforce of that.
Yeah, you get quite a draft bit on that ship.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yeah. If you go down the full sim route of aerodynamics, you can get very, very complicated.
Track landing gear.
If we
Landing gear up.
drafting behind someone, and then you pull out, and suddenly you get hit with a whole bunch of wind, and then half of your vehicle is in the wind, half of it's not in the wind.
Yeah.
What does that do to the tires, for example? Does it affect the grip? Does it torque your vehicle around a bit? There's all kinds
You
of.
get flying cars.
You get flying cars, yeah. Yep. Where suddenly all the downforce turns into the top force.
Please visit again.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of gameplay implications to it, but like with anything else, it has to be weighed against every single other thing that's going on in the persistent universe, and whether it might work and even be fun in a vacuum.
I love watching people try and land.
Put it alongside all these other systems and go, okay, well, how does that affect everything from salvage to FPS gameplay to. Well, it's not to say that it can't happen or something. It's not as simple as just, oh, that's a good idea and we put it in.
Yeah, it's like with when we did aerodynamics for the ships in the first place. That would be like a really big impact feature, because the ships behaving like spaceships when they're close to the ground in atmosphere feels a lot less realistic and interesting. And if you add aerodynamic flight into ships like that, you get a really cool difference in how to get those ships to play. And that's a bigger impact than having fully simulated aerodynamics on the ground vehicles, for example. We can get to similar kinds of things in other ways, but yeah, so which is why it's not been a priority so far. But yeah, it'd be really cool to add that.
How excited are you and the team for the recent Arena Commander changes? Was this something like, yes, finally, or was it like, I wish they were working on other things? Like it's the question again. You put it on there. How does the team feel about all the recent Arena Commander changes?
Really excited for it. It's a great place to do combat, and so I've been really pumped about it. And also it's given us a chance to test master modes as well. So that's been really cool for us. So we've been really excited to get that out there. So yeah.
We interact a lot with the player experience team, who are or the vehicle guys in the player experience team, who are really interested in Arena Commander and the way that you can test out how ships behave in 1v1 combat or PvE, pirate swarm and stuff, and you get all of that kind of really interesting interactions in ships. There's only certain ways.
Rev up the drive.
Preparing for quantum leap.
What the ships are going to do in those kind of interactions, and that's from really testing in that isolated environment. Because a lot of the time in the PU, you don't end up having that very often because of the size and scale of loads of different roles and stuff.
Engage jump on my mark.
So you get a really focused environment on
Ready
that.
and waiting.
So that really helps us. And we've been in contact with a bunch of people
Now.
about
Jump
and stuff in the past as well. So increasing the playability of Arena Commander and all the different lobby stuff that they've been doing, and experimental modes. We finally get the players to test out master modes, and then we can see what the feedback is from that, and then the best way to make a feature that the players really enjoy is to take player feedback basically, and then you can iterate back and forth and come up with something really cool. So yeah, we're really excited.
I think it begins to finally allow us to realize that original potential of it, to be the symbiotic, test bed. Well, I mean, obviously we have the PU and the alpha, and then we have the PTU and stuff like this. But Arena Commander is always the promise of it. The true promise of it has always been this focused test bed for the PU.
Engage jump.
We got away from that for a while.
hyperspace jump.
Like all things, the only constant in game development is change. So this return to it in recent months, as we've been waiting for it to go out in 320, and as it will, hopefully soon, is exciting, especially with all the specific modes to drill down on things like the tank and drill down on things like gun game and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's also that renewed focus that
I need to try gun game.
Ship racing that has become a real focus as well. They've remade the maps, right? Or added some new maps to Arena Commander. So adding that kind of stuff into it as well, that helps a lot with vehicle handling and stuff.
Max power to engines.
Really
Transferring power to engines.
bits of the balance that helps us
Decouple.
Unlock mouse.
this kind of vehicle.
Nearest enemy.
So we're in our last 10 minutes here, so I want to.
Okay.
There have been several questions along this line in the chat here. Zarek Masters is the one that happens to be in front of me. Older ships like the Gladiator. What do you think of the Gladiator? Any chance the Gladiator can get some love? I mean, is the Gladiator perfect right now? Are you happy with the Gladiator? Does its bomb bay doors need some work? Can you give it Gladiator pilots, these people who have pledged for this vehicle since yay old days?
I mean, it's kind of appreciated that because I was playing it about an hour before I came here.
Okay.
So I was taking a look at it, see what we can improve on it. So, because it definitely can fly better in atmosphere. Its atmosphere flight's a little bit bad right now.
It's got those great atmospheric wings that go like this.
Yeah, and we did some changes to the way the we did some changes to Fury, and that had an impact on some of the ships in the game. And unfortunately, Gladiator was one of those ships that is kind of impacted. So I'm taking a look at that now of what we can kind of move, to basically improve it, because it's got the mavs that move at the top of the ship, and
that was to support the Fury 80 thrusters that needed a rewrite of some of the thruster rotation code, and so that had some unintended consequences in all the ships that have rotating thrusters. So there was.
We'll have to try and move one off the pad.
Well. There's a bunch of them that had to check and try and get as close to what the shipped version was.
And how about for something even more aerodynamic like the Terrapin? Little floaty brick that can. New love for the Terra
Deploy landing gear.
nuggets. And hope we can-
Deploying landing gear.
So a big focus of Terrapins actually is going to be making the most of its VTOL mode. So we've generally tried to make the ships fly as normal with, in like normal mode they should be able to fly, in atmosphere on the various planets we have. But we're definitely looking at ways we can make the most of those ships and VTOLs on and give them a little bit more power. So when you're in VTOL mode, you really feel the power of those ships. And to give you more control in VTOL mode.
Don't know if we'll be able to land here.
So we've got some exciting aerodynamic changes in the future as well. That's going to help kind of reinforce that as well.
Oh, it did. It did let us land.
So yeah.
No.
Because it's a cool little ship. It might be a floating brick, but
Yeah.
Can we move this guy?
It's naturally aerodynamic.
It's about as aerodynamic as I am. Again, I want to preface this by saying that they picked the questions,
no.
not me.
Oh.
The question is literally, is my favorite ship the best ship? And am I still on track?
this one's on you, Johnny.
Yes. And yes.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I think you're going to pay for that one.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
You also picked something,
Uh-oh.
vision for where pets, dogs, will stay on ships with and without second seat interior. So they're assuming the dogs will go on the second seat. But
I mean,
Come on.
In like the little carry case, and then you can sit the carry case in the second seat, and then the dog can shoot the turret.
So I want to preface this, having seen the question for the first time live right here again. This will be the last time I let the guests pick the questions. We are neither confirming nor denying the existence of dogs in our game.
but I do have, a dog and 4 cats. So
In real life.
Yes, in real life, not in the ships. In like real life.
Not yet.
Okay, so our
Oh, yeah.
theory craft is then you included it, so we'll go with it.
There we go. We got it.
Dog pets do get added to the game. Where do they go on the ship?
Takeoff complete.
Well, I put my dog on the engineering station. To be fair, I think.
That's a new paint job as well for the C2. It's really nice.
Yeah, and my cats can just be ornaments.
I mean, the cats would sit on the pedals, is what the cats would do,
Yeah.
really.
At least have a, it's like a blame them for crashing it.
Yeah. Or they just sit and like pour at the MFDs.
Yeah.
No, don't turn my shields off. No, go away.
I hope that's a satisfactory answer.
Jared's deflating.
All right, no. We're going to one of the hard ones now since you wasted a question on that. You wasted a question on that. How do you determine how well or bad a vehicle handles?
Whoa.
Yeah.
So the good and the bad.
Go ahead. I'm gonna sit back. You go ahead.
So when we have a ship in concepting phase, we basically outline what the purpose of that ship is, and then from that we discuss what loadout it should have, what weapons it should have, what size components it should have, and then the ship gets concepted. So we're in control of that, and then when we go through like the concepting phase and the visual art style, the art starts to lead some of where the ship goes. As well. So we've got like the purpose of the ship, but then the look of the ship, it needs to feel a certain way to match its kind of visual appearance. And then we've got like a really good kind of matrix of like where our current ships are, both in terms of the flight, the combat power, as we learn more about the game as well, and how we move all the ships, as we learn the systems more and more, and improve the core features of the game, we change the balance, so we're moving all the ships together. Then we look at where that ship should fit, and we don't just want every ship to be the new best ship in the game that does everything the best. There's always choices, and that can be manufacturer based, choices that can be visual kind of choices on the ship, and where you put the thrusters, where you put the wings, and how they look. So it's really a lot of different factors that come into this, and it's where we put the weapons, it's where we put the turret. Well, if a ship does have a turret, it's where we put it, and that defines how good that turret system is on that particular ship. And then there's just, we've got kind of core numbers of health, for example. So we've got a really good idea of where the current ships are. So we go, right, well, we want the ship to fit here, so it requires this, but it depends how the ship's built. So different parts on the ship and how the damages propagate throughout the ship. So we have to work with all these factors. So yeah, that's kind of how we balance. And then obviously we do some testing internally to make sure the ship kind of fits what we originally set out it to be, and make sure it fits in that particular area. But it's not, I don't like to say this shit's just better than the Vanguard, for example. I like to go, well, it could beat the Vanguard in this situation if you did this, if you did this particular thing, and that, and that's the difficult balance, I guess.
Engines up.
Hopefully that's a good enough answer.
On.
Good answer. Now, how do you, I want to follow up because you did so well with that. How do you do that knowing new systems are coming down the pipe, like master modes and resource management and stuff? How do you take that delicate calculus you just described and do something for the game today, but also leaving yourself room for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the really difficult things about doing this is we've got to think about the game now. We've got to think about the game we're going to
try and run it
next release, but then we've also got to think about kind of really long term as well. So we kind of do the current game and we kind of have a base understanding of where the current game is and where the ships are, and we try and do our best to maintain that, but also include a little bit of future-proofing ourselves, really, that we don't have to go back and redo every single ship in every single release, for example. So we'll try and move certain ships. That's why sometimes probably, we do get questions about certain ship balance not quite fitting, but that's probably why, because it is a work in progress game. This is a game where we can't just retune 100 and something ships every single release. It's just not possible to do. But we do try and keep it as one.
Hey, what's good, Mana?
And then we look at.
I'm going to call you Mana instead of your actual name.
So what we try and do is we try and have these things in the game now for us, and we will balance the game for the future as well. And then when it comes to it, we can turn those systems on, for the players, which is what we've done with the experimental modes. We've got the Gladius there. Well, we did have the Gladius there. And basically what we did was we just turned it on with master modes on, and the tuning was there. So we're kind of moving the game towards that for the future like that. But it is a very fragile piece sometimes, and it is quite challenging. There's days where you're like, oh my god, I've got to throw all the balance that I've done over the last 5 years at this company, for these new features and stuff, because we've got so much coming in the game and so much is going to change. But it's also really exciting because it's a constant challenge.
Right, 30 seconds. Let's run.
You tell me if I'm wrong here on this. So sometimes when a ship performs one way, it's performing, whether that's good or bad, it's performing that way because it's been tuned in anticipation of this thing that's coming down the line. And because this thing that's coming down the line hasn't arrived yet and whatnot, it may be underperforming today or perhaps overperforming today, because whatever this thing that's coming down the line is either going to bring it in line or it's going to bring it up to where it's supposed to be. So it's not always a bug. It's not always a missing feature. It's not always just an idiotic decision by somebody on the team. It's just like the sources of the invisibility bug we talked about. It can actually be
can call a Talon down here.
Sources all conspiring together to make a particular ship or vehicle perform a certain way at a certain time, and it's one of the big never-ending challenges of running a live game in the middle of our development.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with all these features that come down the line.
I love how they stopped calling it an alpha, but calling it a live game now.
We're really good now, and then
we will die. Yeah.
Have to be really good in the future, and sometimes the numbers are so different that there's just no hope. Or you can like try and get the numbers somewhere in the middle, or you can have one set of
2 seconds.
And yeah, because we have so many ships and so many different systems, sometimes some things just are how they are.
I think we can all agree the best ship in a dogfight should be the Rock DS. I told them I would say something nice about the Rock DS. That was the best way to come up with. Johnny, Rich, thanks for hanging out with us, taking the time out of your busy Friday at the end of the week to be here on Star Citizen Live. Folks, if you haven't checked it out, be sure you watch yesterday's.
I haven't got an undersuit.
It's part one of our design brief on the cargo carrier. Lots of big changes coming. Freight elevators, the instance and persistent hangars, all kinds of new cargo boxes with different properties, and of course the big kind of headline thing of that, being able to stick just about anything that's physical on a cargo grid. Yeah, I've already seen a number of Twitch streams and YouTube videos today, expounding on the possibilities, and yes, the possibilities.
Yes.
So be sure you check that out. Part
Yes.
2 is next week, and then of course remember that CitizenCon, the now 2-day event emanating from Los Angeles, California, on October 21st and 22nd, is just 5 weeks away. About 5 weeks away. So if you're wondering why some of us pulled our hair out, it's probably because of that. So for Johnny and Rich, I'm Jared. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Take care.
That was a good one. I'm not gonna lie, stream. That was actually a very good Star Citizen Live. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really enjoyed that one. What do you reckon to that particular show then, guys and girls? For those of you that watched it live, obviously you re-saw what was shown today. I don't need to go to the bridge, do I? I need to get out of it. There you go, you can see Juno a little bit better now. Alright, let's go. We're gonna get out of here. Hopefully, we'll find an undersuit in the next building. That'll be nice. Where's the door? Where's the door? Come on, get in. 30k. Yeah, oh no, the game just crashed. What the hell? Not too sure what's happened there, but we'll get back in. We'll go and launch back in right now for your... Can you guys hear me okay on stream? Cross fingers he can. Cross fingers he can. Yeah, you can hear me okay. Alright, let's get back in. Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you have just joined us, we were watching the Star Citizen live, where they asked the devs, and it was a vehicle gameplay team that were on today's show, and it was a good show, actually. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very nice show. Some good joke. I like Jared's presentation style. He always has them little bits of a humour in there. It was really nice to see him actually not refer to it as an alphabet live service game. Alright, we'll hopefully just get... Well, we'll get back in a second or two, hopefully. Give Juno some cuddles as we wait. Oh, we're back over at Surfing. Right, let's go and have a look in the Galleria, see if there's actually anything here. If not, there will be up here. Refinery. There definitely will be. Oh yeah, look, there we go. We got our store. Okay. Is there an update? There's got to be an update, right? There's got to be an update. Thank you for the like on my YouTube stream as well, by the way, guys and girls.
Raising landing modules.
Why would you do that? I bet. Yeah, there you go. Update. We've just got the update. Okay, let's go and install it. .212 gigs, something like that. Nearly done, guys and girls. We're just waiting for it to update at the moment as we speak. For the time being, we'll switch over to cat cam. Right, new update is done. Alright, we are in. Right, let's get in the ground floor. Hey buddy, welcome to a new patch. Right, let's get on to the train. I look at my legs. Very weird.
Now arriving.
That's annoying. Right, let's have a loosh.
Welcome to the
We'll
ASOP
need to
vehicle retrieval system.
redo our ship
Your
paints,
vehicle
won't
has
we?
been delivered to the. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
We'll give a Gladius in. What else? We'll get the Drake Vulture. Yeah, we got the Drake Vulture there. What else have we got the skin for? I think that'll do for the time being.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Sweet. Let's go get the Gladius.
Welcome to the
Valiant.
ASOP vehicle
We'll
retrieval
take off.
system. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following
Beyond
location.
skis.
Please visit us
I'm
again.
actually going to put the
Goodbye.
decent paint on this bad boy. Then we'll put the arm skis on that. We'll make that disgusting. We'll give the Panthers back on that bad boy. Nice, that's done. And then we need the Drake Vulture. Yeah, boy. Right, we need to go and upgrade the Vulture now. Let me have a look at loading up Urkel games.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Your personal belongings are your personal responsibility. Monitor your luggage at all times.
Just putting together the upgrades at the moment.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
All right, let's go.
the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Just pretend we're an NPC for a little bit.
Your personal belongings are your personal responsibility. Monitor your luggage at all times.
Hello. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello. 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 Hello and welcome.
We wish you a beneficial and
Test.
prosperous day.
Test. 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 Hello and welcome to testing. Hello. Hello.
Obey all security and customs personnel at all times.
Please visit
Their
us
job
again.
is yours.
Obey all of the ASOP screens at all times. Their job is to piss you off.
It takes all of us working together to keep our corps safe and secure. Be vigilant and report possible threats every time.
Hello and welcome to Area 18, the one and only place people can have haircuts like Sia.
Want your company to be in good company? Our corps' unique vertically integrated corporate parks offer amenities such as absorption and logistical pairing for our rental partners. Inquire today to learn how you can invest in making our corp your new home. For the latest travel information, be sure to check the departure and arrival boards.
Hello and welcome.
Throughout the spaceport.
How may I help you today? Hello and welcome. Goodbye.
Obey all security
Hello
and
and
customs
welcome.
personnel at all times. Their job is yours.
Here at Area 18, we believe in making sure you are in danger at all times. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Want your company to be in good company? Our corp's unique vertically integrated.
Want your company to be company?
Such as
Our
resorts,
corp's company
logistical
is
planning,
indeed
and rental
company.
Inquire today to learn how you can invest in making our corp.
Inquire today in how you can invest in company. I love doing this.
Thank you for visiting our corp.
Hello,
Stanton's
and thank you
Commerce.
for visiting
Whatever your
the
travel,
visit
we wish
of
you a
visits.
beneficial and prosperous day. Your personal belongings.
The party will begin in 2 minutes.
At all times.
How you doing, Phantom? You good?
Thank you for visiting our court, Stanton's capital of commerce. Whatever your transaction, we wish you a beneficial and prosperous stay. Hello, and welcome to Rikers
Yeah,
Island
not too
Spaceport.
bad, man. Not too bad.
Servicing the greater area
We're gonna go and
metropolitan
rather than do this and messing
We
around,
hope
we're
you
gonna go and
safe
have a look
travels
at
wherever your final destination may be.
doing some gameplay.
Vehicles, your vehicle has been delivered to the following. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Want your company to be in good company? Our corp's unique vertically integrated corporate parks offer amenities such as resource sharing and logistical pairing for our rental partners. Inquire today to learn how you can invest in making our corp your new home.
Hopefully he thinks we're an NPC. I don't know if he will. Anyway, haven't played since you were on PTU. Yeah, we're actually on PTU at the moment. We're now going to stop messing around and actually go and do some normal gameplay. Got to guess where my shoes are and where my hat is. Oh, didn't get the shoes, didn't get the hat. Right, there we go. Let's get the cheeky undersuit on. Definitely need to get back on it again, bro. We got a new skin for the Vulture,
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle
which is
retrieval
really
system.
nice.
At all times.
What shall we do? Shall we do some combat or shall we do some salvage?
Vehicle, your vehicle has been delivered to the following. Please visit.
Want your company to be in good company? Our corp's unique vertically integrated corporate parks offer amenities such as resource sharing and logistical pairing for our rental partners.
Welcome. Please visit us.
To learn how you can invest in making our corp
Let's have a look at doing some salvage. We'll get to the Vulture. look at this skin. It's wow nice. Absolutely love this one. To be fair, I'm not too sure how long we'll be on for. I've had a long day of streaming today actually. It was on really nice and early in the morning. Power up a ship.
Activating.
Hello and welcome aboard your Drake interplanetary craft. Your systems are
online.
So first place we need to go is good old here at L5. Request launch permission.
Of course, Commander.
Retract landing gear.
launch.
Landing module retracted.
Absolutely gorgeous skin. Retract landing gear.
Gear up.
landing gear up.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Right. We should be out
Aye,
now.
Commander.
I'm gonna sleep well tonight, I'll tell you about stream. Engage jump on my mark.
Standing by.
Now.
Quantum travel engaged.
Oh. Engage jump.
Engaging jump.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Okay. I'm just reading up on some bits and bobs here, ladies and gents. So, the new ground physics for the ground vehicles, I think is going to be quite interesting. How you doing, buddy? So, first part of the journey down. Now off to HRL5. Engage jump on my mark. Engage jump.
Drives engaging.
Quantum drive is now on.
Hello gorgeous peeps, I'm Chris from TechSpert and this bad boy here is the Xiaomi Imilab KW.
We're going to look at this watch.
Very catchy name indeed. Now in the last couple of months we've seen lots of budget-friendly smartwatches launched by the likes of Realme and Amazfit, and the Imilab definitely fits into that category. It'll cost you just a guide just telling you how to get the watch all set up and running you through the various features. You actually get a spare silicon strap bundled in the box as well, which is really good. So you can get your own, otherwise just plug it into a spare USB port on you. I would say it's certainly not strong enough to actually hold the watch aloft if you were to let go. Sort of £75, especially the budgety watches aping that Apple's that you find right against the skin. The catchers are doing a pretty good job of yanking at my arm hairs, unfortunately. But loving the very interesting bit of watch face action there. But to actually get the smartwatch all paired up with your smartphone and everything, what you'll need to do is go to settings and open up the QR code feature, and then just scan that with your phone, and then that should give us a direct link to the app we need to download from either the App Store or the Google Play Store. Or of course you can just go and find it yourself. It's called Glory Fit. And with that downloaded, you've just got to tell I'll notify you about any incoming calls and other notifications as well from the likes of Messenger, Gmail, etc. You could also turn on a Do Not Disturb as well, which is quite handy if you're going to be rocking it all night long. Telltale signs be fine. Not super detailed. Once you get in quite close, you can see the images and text is quite pixelated. Exactly gonna knock your socks off for being like super vibrant and punchy or anything like that. This is also the smartwatch on the top brightness. You can quickly configure that by swiping down and then tapping this little icon here. As you can see, there are several different stages. On the top level, you will struggle of the Glory Fit app on your smartphone. For time and everything. Unfortunately, you can't actually change the layout of the information or exactly what information is. And then it's if you give a little next. And of course, you've got that QR code which you can use to scan to download the app, and that's pretty much it. On it. Very limited indeed, to be honest. You can basically reset your smartwatch, basic and limit your basic fitness tracking stuff, which are like Wear OS smartwatches, and the Apple Watch can't download fresh apps from an option. You can follow how much for how to get best. Isn't that the root information tap for? There are no field. If you want to receive no app this tool. Still, besides the notifications for all the other features seem to don't have SPO2 monitoring or anything like that, which would be quite a boon at this sort of price point. The Imilab watch will casually track your steps taken, calories. fair to it. You obviously don't have SpO2 monitoring or anything like that, which would be quite a boon at this sort of price point. The Invi Lab watch will casually track your steps taken, calories supposedly burned, all that good stuff which I showed you earlier throughout the day. And then at any point, if you want to perform a bit of exercise, you've got 13 different tracking modes. Of course, they are a bit of a strange bunch. So you've got like the likes of table tennis, rugby, badminton, baseball, alpinism, not even sure if that's actually a word. But then you do at least have running, walking and cycling on there, which I guess would cover off most of what people are up to. And all this basically does is it tells you exactly how long you've been exercising for, keeps a general look at your heart rate and all that good stuff, and then when you've finished it will log that data and sync it up with your smartphone. As for the actual performance, well, that can obviously be a little bit jittery. Again, for a basic smartwatch, it's really not that bad though, to be fair. It's fairly responsive, that touch screen, so when you swipe, it generally gets it right. The only other quirk that I've noticed is the actual battery meter, which seems to be locked at 100%, which is quite confusing because I was using the smartwatch quite a bit last night. And then I dove online and I discovered that actually it only counts down in 25% increments, so it'll go down to 75.
Right, we're here. Well, part one anyway.
Is now off.
Engage jump.
Drives engaging.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, let's go. Request landing permission.
Request sent.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Deploy landing gear.
Deploying gear.
Right on the edge, but it'll do. Proper tired stream. I'm actually really tired. Might actually go set up for one of the meditation streams. We haven't done that for a while, so I'll just probably do that, to be fair, guys. So let me go set up for that. Just be right back. Right, stream, we are going to go and end now for the meditation stream because I am tired as feck. So we will speak to you when we wake up, but thank you very much for joining us. And YouTube will direct you over to the next stream now. And for Twitch, we'll see you on the new stream shortly.